What is going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, May 30th, 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all so much. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you had a good holiday weekend, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. So let's take a look at this Tuesday, which is Sun Aldebaran Day, especially when we were all born. When we were all born, the fixed star Aldebaran was at 9 degrees. It is at 10 degrees currently. So we're starting to, in our own chart, see that Aldebaran energy. But then tomorrow we get that exact conjunction. So there's this buildup, which it's Archangel Michael energy. It's a very sharp, very smart energy, but it's based around integrity. And I think really, leading with your best foot, trusting that divine intelligence within you. If Archangel Michael's heaven's hound, like this is kind of being that, frontline military chief for God in your life. Whatever you believe in, whatever that energy is to you, lead with your best foot forward and make good, decisions based on that energy in your life. Very important. It can go a long ways in your life, especially these next couple days here, today and tomorrow. So remember that. Very important, in my opinion. Also, the moon is in Libra and it's opposite Chiron. So, a little bit sensitive energy. Like, I feel like we want to dabble, we want to do our relationships, we want to, have our conversations, we want to be curious, we want the balance and the harmony in our life. But there is something within us here that something's bringing up a wound. There is some kind of vulnerability that could happen, maybe through other people in our lives, kind of showing a reflection back to ourselves of maybe little things we can, in essence, take responsibility and accountability for within ourselves and not project, hopefully, that it's always something outside of ourselves. So there's a little bit of, I think, divine integrity to like look at our reflections, our relationships, our unions in life, to not project, but to see it as it is and how it pertains to maybe something in our life that is a vulnerable position or something that is a wound that we all carry about, gosh, it could be a lot of things within our identification of ourselves. And when we say I am, like, what is that? What kind of reflection are we getting back? So try not to project too much onto others. If you're getting that projection from another too, well, it might have some significance to you, but try not to get too defensive at the same time. So there could be a little defensiveness today as well. Remember, integrity and like that divine intelligence, super important. Also, Saturn and Uranus are in a quintile, and they're both going to make bi-quintiles to the moon. So that's a golden yod. So there's that golden yod to the moon in Libra from Saturn and Uranus, which again, I just think that there is something special about relationships right now and having compassion and maturity, but also not being too attached to any kind of outcome, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and realizing that if you're seeing a reflection right now, it can up your value and your self-worth by taking accountability and using that maturity to still be compassionate and for yourself and for others, and to take everything, that could come today as a learning curve. I think learning higher values within ourselves and hopefully providing more confidence. So very maturing energy on this Tuesday, and if we want to use it for such, I think it can be extremely helpful with the North Node and Jupiter, both at 3 degrees. Boom, 3-3. They're going to make their conjunction in just 2 days, so pretty cool. As like we're just starting to see, I think, more confidence, believing in ourselves, our capacities, our ability to create big leaps in confidence right now. So there's definitely like a higher wave. I feel like some divine intelligence is coming through right now, kind of a little alien, to be honest with you, and it's special. And sure, it could bring up vulnerabilities, but it's again, it's upping your own knowledge and your own wisdom about yourself. So I think it's very important to remember that no matter what situation does play out, it's potent. And yeah, I mean, the moon's not making a ton of aspects. It's making, of course, quincunxes to Mercury and Uranus today. That can be a little weird. Just a little weird. And then Saturn and Mars are in their quincunx. So there's a little bit of this odd energy to this because, of course, I feel like, if we're getting some kind of like higher intelligence sort of messages and maturing and growing, it's always going to feel a little weird. So there's definitely energy that could feel stagnant or could feel off. That's where the learning's at. It's almost like we won't find balance and harmony unless we go into something a little different, a little weird, a little odd today. And we're probably going to find those situations, but I think it's seeing the beauty in those moments, not judging them too hard, but realizing that there's confidence through action once you get into a situation. Intuitively and even intellectually, I think you'll figure out the understanding and the bigger meaning. Also, final day of Mercury shadow. Mercury's going to come out of shadow tomorrow, so that's nice too. As Mercury starts to pick up the pace here, and we finish that whole Mercury retrograde period for good. So yeah, final day, kind of big understandings, revolutions, probably coming through reflections of people and contracts, handshakes, all sorts of agreements we've made in our life. And I think we're seeing where sort of the divine truth is pointing us. And as long as we're confident and I think cannot be too defensive at situations or life in general, I think we come out on top of this period and overall start to feel pretty good. Yeah, should be pretty decent. Pluto's kind of right there at the midpoint of Mars and Venus in opposition. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of relationship stuff, especially with the moon in Libra. There's like important truths, compassion. There's just a mature factor happening here. And again, I think even Uranus in that golden yod, and even Pluto still in Aquarius, it's important to be objective. And I mean, I think that there's a positive side to any kind of aloofness at the same time. It's not about being so reserved or standoffish in that kind of aloof way, but to not involve yourself in too much drama with others, but to use situations and our relationships and our conversations as big learning moments and evolution for our own life, and where the value of that is going and how to form more unique, connected bonds at the same token. So yeah, it's a cool day. Can definitely feel weird, not gonna lie. Can definitely feel weird, but I think that overall should be a pretty positive day as long as we don't, again, get too defensive or overreact or project wounds. It's not set up that everything is going to go perfect at all by any means. I don't know if we'll ever get that astrology, but rolling with it and the things that are weird and kind of going into experiences right now that's unlocking new parts to our consciousness. And that is a beautiful alignment in itself, in my opinion. See what's in the cards for this Tuesday. Ten of Wands in reverse. Yeah, maybe there's this final weight that gets dropped. Maybe we start to see that quicker. Instead of just constantly carrying something. Maybe we are able to offload something to take on new information about, maybe it could be any kind of desire or love or passion in our lives. Maybe we're consolidating a little bit and not carrying as much because maybe we're starting to see what's important, what's in alignment, what isn't, what's truth, what's real, what's fake in some way. King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it's almost like if we thought we, had it all understood or figured out in this, physical realm, what value is, oh yeah, Uranus is going to change that here in this third decan. So yeah, I don't think we don't have to know it all. Every day is an experience. It's showing value and worth. If you're receptive to that, there's so much truth that wants to come in and, put you back on that throne of quality of everything, quality within self, right? And what is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe God, that autofocuses. There we go. Maybe, yeah, there's just reconsolidation of values right now. Maybe we're seeing where we are going to get a return and where we're not. And it's oh, wow, I have to make a decision. I have to be mature. I have to understand the truth. Instead of constantly just putting work into something that we're leaving our head, at the end of the day hung low to, whatever that may be. I think that it's can't kind of run from the truth, and like we have to be in integrity with the truth and start to make the necessary adjustments and changes. So I feel like it's definitely a learning day, but it's a learning day that brings a lot of like fruit to our own personal maturation. So hopefully that's true and resonates with y'all. Love y'all very much. Appreciate you, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.